Super Rugby Quarter Final number one. It's done and dusted, and kind of no surprises. It is the Crusaders who go through, and the Highlanders are out. They scraped through for one more week, but trip to Christchurch, as happens to most teams who end up going to Christchurch, proved just a bridge too far for the Highlanders. They put in one hell of a first half, and then the wheels kind of came off in the second half, and the Crusaders just proved to be far too good for them. So, no shame in that. It happens to most teams who go to Christchurch. And yeah, I'm sorry I don't have any Highlanders or Crusaders gear on me. I left it all that in Auckland. So, in Wellington for the game tomorrow, or today by the time this video gets up. But hey, there was a fair bit of entertainment, and I think the Highlanders will be cursing themselves a bit for their errors, some of which were unforced. I mean, their scrum being on the back foot, nothing much they could do about that, but really some things which some were silly and some were just a bit careless. But hey, it started with a Mo'unga penalty, so the Crusaders got up 3 points to nil. But the Highlanders had a fair bit of possession and territory early in that first half. Himapo gets a try TMO'd, double movement on the ground, so he goes close but not able to get it done. Josh Ioane misses a penalty. On about 12 minutes, he hits the post with it, but that's kind of the first error. Now, a goal kicker missing his goals is not unheard of, but he's been kicking pretty well throughout the season, so it was kind of perhaps a sign of things to come that he missed that one, which he might normally get. That being said, they have heaps of chances, and they finally get one on 16 minutes. They mess up their own line out, but they manage to somehow get the ball back, even though the Crusaders probably should have secured it. Thompson has a little step, a little offload. It goes to Ben Smith and then Tompkinson, and it's a try for the Highlanders. Lead changes, so it's 7 points to 3 for the Highlanders, and things are kind of looking peachy for them at that point. But then 21 minutes, and stuff starts to get real a bit for them because their scrum gets penalised for the first time. Crusaders turn down 3 points, and Havili scores from basically that they mauled it from the line out, and first pass out was Havili under the stick. So lead changed back to the Crusaders, and that was it for the rest of the game. Bridge goes down the left wing on 28 minutes. There's an offload to Douglas, who offloads to Mo'unga, and it's a try. 17 points to 7, so 10 points up. Highlanders aren't done at that point, though, because Walden gets a try from a scrum move. He beats Goodhue, which is something he'll be a little bit disappointed about. And it's 17 points to 14. Right before halftime, the Crusaders scrum manages to win another penalty against the Highlanders, but this time they go for touch, and they mess things up. So it's 14 points for the Highlanders, 17 to the Crusaders at halftime. Halftime stats: Highlanders more possession, more territory, more run meters, but the Crusaders tackling at 90% and the Highlanders 85, which is still pretty respectable. But the Crusaders had to make 53 in that first half, the Highlanders just 23, and the Highlanders were still down on the scoreboard. Second half starts. One of the first things I notice is Josh Ioane misses touch with a penalty that they had. Kind of an unforced error there. Coltman gets a couple of quick turnovers, so it's not too much bad news for the Highlanders. But then Squire gets yellow carded for no arms and a tackle on Douglas. And in that time, Jakob Piper does hurry Ben Skeen up, which I was pretty proud of, because Ben Skeen, although he's thorough, kind of grinds my gears with sometimes how long he takes with his decisions. And then, 47 minutes. Douglas gets a try from a maul, and at that point it's 24-14, and then Crusaders get another scrum penalty. Alatoa, first phase after a maul from a line-out, 31 points to 14. That's 14 points they've conceded during the line-out. Highlanders do get an attack later on, but there's a forward pass in it. Franklin swears at the ref and gets penalised. It's just these unforced errors. Like, if you're going to beat the Crusaders down in Christchurch, you need to have not a flawless game, but you need to be pretty good. You can't be making more than a handful of errors, and the Highlanders were just, a bit careless with some of them. Like I said, if your scrum's on the back foot, there's not a lot you can do to stop that. But some of the stuff was just, a bit careless. So Their lineout was equally bad. 63% was the lineout winning percentage, which was really bad. But then again, credit to the Crusaders for what they did in disrupting that. 68 minutes, Mo'unga nicks a ball from Banks as he's just come on. As a kick, as a rugby ball bounce, as it's like to do sometimes, and Mo'unga is the one to pounce on it. And then it's 38 points to 14, and that's how she finished. Could have been more for the Crusaders, to be fair, if not for the bounce of a ball, one where Josh Ioane managed to clean it up. I think there was another one where they went pretty close. So, yeah, the Crusaders could have won this one by more. Highlanders were definitely in it at half-time, but those stats I was talking about, by full-time, Crusaders got more possession, more territory, kind of 55%, 52%. More run meters, 393 to 273. The tackling percentage comes down a bit from 90, but it's still in the 80s. So, yeah, I believe the Crusaders will now host either the Hurricanes or the Bulls. So there won't be travel factor for whoever goes to Christchurch for a second week running, but it is going to be a big job because, man, those Crusaders look pretty sharp. And the commentators alluded to it as well, that they're leaving out a lot of talented guys that just can't make this team. The fact that you've got guys like Enor on the bench speaks to the quality of that Crusaders team. But hey, it was a good game. The first half was close. The second half, the Highlanders were scoreless, and the Crusaders just shifted up another gear and just ran away with the game. A very, very good team. Yeah, they're going to be very tough to beat. Anybody beating them in Christchurch to this point seems pretty tough, but hey, if you're going to win the comp, you got to beat the best. So, yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on the game. How did you think it went? Key moments, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.